hero. Couldn't solo this one?
Let her go!
The last time I killed her friends, her screams were exquisite.
Huh?
Delicious.
No!
Let's make this fun. Give them a sporting chance.
Ooh. Let's see what you Mongols can do as a pack.
Away! Follow.
Greetings and salutations, this is Tentacle here, back with more Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. And we are entering the fourth boss fight. A boss fight I'm not really fond of because it starts out with an interesting platforming part, aka the non-boss part, and then you end up in an area that's fairly boring, I'm gonna be honest. But right here we got a section that I failed to get the Easter egg of. Pretty sure everybody knows the Easter egg of what happens here. If you get enough Bumpa Berries, you get a nice Easter egg of the Whoa Crash Bandicoot meme from 2017, which is nice. But unfortunately, I've gotten an Easter egg before. This is just because this was one of the first few things I played after coming back from my hiatus from this game. I basically took a hiatus between the second and third prehistoric levels, so this was one of the first few parts of the game I played after coming back. So I was kind of practice with a lot of stuff, which is why the levels leading up to this I do terribly. I get a little better with future levels that I play here. I'm saying this because pretty much every level and boss, everything is completed. At the time I'm recording this, I've beaten the game. But anyways,
Tell me more.
yeah, I had to stop. This is my second take of the commentary, which is why I don't sound, you know, too enthusiastic. I'm gonna try to keep some enthusiasm, but you know, let it be known this is my second take because the microphone, or not the microphone, but the headset adapter fucked up, and as I say that, I fall down and die. Yep,
So
perfect.
elegant, spiders.
So many little legs to pull.
Lady, you got some issues.
Wicked.
Almost as many issues as regular in Trophy, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, something about this boss. If you hear my voice, I'm not entirely enthusiastic. It's not just because this is the second take of commentary for this boss fight, but I just don't like this boss. It's like the only part of the game I think is bad, and this is me talking after beating Cortex Castle. So even though I have vowed to never go back to Cortex Castle again or play the Cortex level that's based on it, I vow to never go back to those. Basically, I hate this boss more than them, and it's because of what this boss does to the game's story. It basically everything that happens after this is cool, and everything that happens before this is cool, but it basically just feels like the end trophies are dealt with a little too quickly. Would have appreciated an Oxide boss here instead, especially since it probably would have been designed better and would have been less boring. And then maybe have the end trophy boss in a new additional area, but it's whatever. It's whatever, I guess. It's also a bit annoying because the area in there looks like it could have served for an interesting boss arena
Security lasers.
to fight Entropy in, but I guess you can't do that.
Enough.
It just now hit me. I don't know why it's hit me just now because I played this boss multiple times in the past. This is a remix of Entropy's Crash 3 theme. Why did I just now realize that?
Oh,
And I
poor
die.
baby.
Perfect. No, but why did I just now realize that? There's a few times that's happened when recording these levels and bosses, because every level and boss that I record, I played at least once before, except for Cortex Castle and the final boss, which you're going to get to see my first run of those.
Excellent.
Don't worry, they are my first run of those. But something I noticed when going back through here is that a lot of the soundtrack I never paid attention to before is just remixes of older Crash songs, or older Crash music from the, whether it be from the original trilogy or something else. But it'll be remixed in a really well manner. Sorry, I know my cup just hit my mic when I was trying to drink my tea, but whatever. Back and make sure that part isn't too annoying, and hear that again. Wonderful. Now, as you can see here, Crash Bandicoot is running from the entropy, while the other entropy is throwing obstacles that Crash must avoid. Crash just died. He got burned, and he's back to life, folks. That is how it is happening today. Sorry, I love doing like a 1920s radio announcer voice because it's just hilarious to me. So I do it whenever I feel like it. Especially gotta do it with the cope with the fact that I keep failing this. It's just a little frustrating, not gonna lie. I keep failing it because I really don't play this boss a lot. It's like the only boss fight I don't revisit that much because I'm the kind of person that when I beat like a game where you can replay bosses, I'll specifically go back and replay the bosses. Because I've always just found boss fights to be the most enjoyable part of games, for the most part. In more recent times, there are other things I enjoy more or about the same as boss fights in games, but I still have a love for boss fights. So in any game where I could go back and replay boss fights, I'll replay them whenever I feel like it, basically. I've replayed the first 3 bosses of this game a bunch of times. I have only replayed this one a few times, and I hate it. I just hate it. This boss is just boring, uneventful, anticlimactic. So many issues I have with this. One with it though is that this remix of the entropy theme from Crash 3 is actually fantastic. Now that I get to sit here and listen to it because I'm not currently playing the game. Because when I'm playing the game, I don't really realize what the soundtrack for each level and boss is that much. Because it feels like it's more in the background than past Crash games. But it's whatever.
We did it! Yeah, we did.
What's the matter? Unable to handle even the simplest of tasks? I no longer have need for our thanks. Alliance.
Right then, let's plug up these holes.
Boy, not that it ain't been fun, but about my ticket home.
Right. Now that we've mended things, we can take you anywhere. Anywhen. After we rest. For now, I can only get us as far as the culinary capital of the universe. Neon City!
Nachos.
Whoa! You said it, Crash.
We can meet with the others after we've explored. Now, which way are the food trucks?
Anyways, we're moving on to this level. If you'll notice in this video, and I'll probably be doing this going forward, anytime a cutscene comes up, I'm going to get rid of like loading screens and anything in between those cutscenes, just so I don't have to record as many sections of commentary. Basically, I can just record long bits of commentary for the levels and bosses, and everything in between can just be any cutscenes that come can basically just be there. Basically, I also think doing this kind of editing will also just make the video more enjoyable in the end, because I feel like I like how my first part of this game is done, because it starts off with the intro cutscene instead of me like doing my intro, and then I do my intro in the cutscene. And this video kind of does the same, and it's something I kind of like to look at, to be honest. It's something that I think is a way better thing to do than to just have like a couple seconds of commentary, move into the cutscene, and then continue commentary when it's over. I feel like that feels a bit messy, if I'm being honest, and it's something I want to stray away from doing, because that's what I used to do with games, and I kind of don't want to do that anymore. Anytime a game starts with a cutscene, or a part I'm recording starts with a cutscene, I just want to start with the cutscene. No commentary, nothing. Because I feel like that's more enjoyable. Fuck. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is my least favorite part of the game. Or, I can't really say least favorite part of the game. That's definitely the intro boss fight. And Cortex Castle definitely comes second to that. No, literally no competition. But this is my least favorite world of the game, because I just don't enjoy playing any of the levels in this world. And it's because they're difficult in a way they're the most frustratingly difficult levels in the game, aside from Cortex Castle. Because I'll be honest, the two levels before Cortex Castle, in my opinion, are better than I will say 2 out of 3 levels here. This first level is not that bad. I'll be honest. This first level's not that bad. I'd say this first level's better than Toxic Tunnels, at least. I'll say that. This is definitely better than Toxic Tunnels, but Nitro Processing, on the other hand, is definitely easier than this whole section of the game. Anyways, let's get going. Honestly, I do enjoy this part, though. This part I enjoy on replays. Or, not really specifically this part, but there's a part coming up that I actually do enjoy now, even when I fail a lot. And it's basically what we just went through, but you have to use the gravity, mask. Ika Ika. And I don't mind that, honestly. I hated that part the first time I played it. But on replays, even when I fail it, it's actually really fun to do. I'm not gonna lie. And I was gonna cut out a lot of deaths this video, but I decided against that because there's not really too many deaths that need to be cut out for these two, for the boss in this level. I was about to say 2 levels, which would have been incorrect, but there's really not enough deaths to warrant me to need to actually cut them out. There are a few parts like this where I die a few times, but I usually only like to cut like deaths out if I die at least 6 times in the same part, which I might end up doing here, and I might just not have noticed that. But yeah, if I die 6 or more times on the same part, then I'll cut it out. Okay, I don't do that. I died like 3 or 4 times here, so that's good to know. I wasn't looking at the death counter when this part began, so can't really tell you. We'll make that 4 or 5. I think it's 4, honestly. I think that's the 4th time. 5 is 5 now. I'm almost certain it's 5. Because I think I had 2 deaths coming here. And after I get that checkpoint, I basically makes things a lot easier. Sometimes I really love the mechanic that the Insane Trilogy in this game has, where it gives you a free extra checkpoint when you die a lot. Because it definitely, especially in this game, it definitely helps out a lot. In the Insane Trilogy, I never really noticed it, because I don't die a bunch of times in the same parts. At most, I'll die probably like 5 or 6 times in the same part. Unless I'm trying to get all the boxes, then it'll be something different, but... So I'd never noticed when the Insane Trilogy gives you extra checkpoint crates. But this game, I notice it, and I love it. Because without it, this game would be a nightmare to me. I'm gonna be honest. This ain't even the first time you get to see that work either. I know for a fact that it happened the last video. I forget which level it was. I want to say it was the... And I died. This is the part I was talking about, by the way. I actually love this part now. But, I want to say it's the 2nd level of the last area. It's either the 1st or 2nd, because it was in Oxide Space Station. But, one of those 2 levels were the one where I kept dying on the same part, and I got a checkpoint halfway through that part, and it definitely saved me. There's a little spoiler. The same thing is going to happen in the next level. There's going to be a part where I die a lot, and I get an extra checkpoint crate, and it basically makes it doable for me. I'm saying that now because it's not really something too interesting. But like, I just gotta say how great it is to have that feature in Crash 4 in particular. Because, dude, it makes this game's difficulty seem a lot more fair. It really does. Because I like the way Crash 4 handles having really high difficulty. It's really difficult, but it kind of assists you with it in a way where, like, you don't really... It assists you with it in a way where you're still technically beating the difficulty with your skill, but it's making it to where, like, it's easier to get back to where you were. In a few ways, honestly. It makes it easier to deal with it. Because you have the checkpoint system where, like, the game will spawn in an extra checkpoint around where you keep dying. And then you break that. I think it replaces one of the brown crates, the regular brown crates, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the question mark crates. But it will spawn those in, and that usually helps you if you keep dying on the same part of a long section. And then there's also modern mode, which basically gives you unlimited lives, which cuts out the fear of getting a game over and having to restart the entire level. Those 2 in particular are definitely great ways to handle this game having high difficulty. And I was originally going to play this game on retro mode, fun fact. Like, I don't know if I ever said that. I was originally planning to play this game on retro mode, but I eventually, like, I decided against it. Like, I'm talking about for the Let's Play, by the way, not for my first run on the game, because technically speaking, my first run of the game, the only part of that you're gonna get to see is Cortex Castle and the final boss, because I saved those for the Let's Play. But technically speaking, or not technically speaking, I was originally going to play this game on retro mode, but on my main save file, the save file we're playing it on now, I started playing it on that save file. I think when I got to the snow levels, I think that's what it was. And it was because I wanted access to all the extra skins I have on this save file. But basically, on the save file, I had already gotten like a few areas in. I think I already beaten Embryo, and I noticed how hard the game would probably get, or would probably be, if I wasn't playing on modern. So I was like, yeah, I definitely need to stick to modern when I do the Let's Play. And I'm gonna be honest, in the end, I am really fucking happy that I chose to play this on modern mode. And yes, I did have to exaggerate it with the cuss word, because it is great to play this on modern mode. Yeah, I don't know why. Looking back at this, I really couldn't tell you why I went into that bonus room, since the checkpoint was right there. And my usual reason for going into bonus rooms in this Crash game in particular is just to get the extra checkpoint. But since the checkpoint is right beside the bonus room, I was about to say, since the checkpoint is next to the checkpoint crate, which would have not made sense. But since the checkpoint crate is next to the bonus platform, it makes it a lot, you know, less useful. So I had no point of going in there, and I did it anyway. Not today, boy. You ain't getting me today. Luckily, this level's almost over, so we don't got much more to deal with. Yeah, unfortunately, I was right there too, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. This is honestly the only level of this area that I actually do enjoy, because this level's actually... When I said earlier that I hate this area, I forgot about this level, honestly. I really did forget how this level was laid out, because looking back at it, I remember enjoying it when I was recording it, even when I died a lot. So, like, me not showing a lot of anger right now is actually really accurate to how I actually was when playing it. So, I was not angry that I died a lot in this level because I enjoyed playing it. So, I don't really have to recreate that anger like I was doing with the entropy thing. But, just whatever. I think I said this earlier. If I didn't, then I said it in the original take of the entropy boss commentary, but I'm basically going to be playing BioShock 2 next. That's the game that I've decided to play next, because I did a Let's Play of BioShock 1. The final part of BioShock 1 accidentally got deleted, so I may also go through BioShock 1 again, record the final part of it, and then upload it, just to have that Let's Play finally finished. Because someone was game sharing PlayStation Plus with me when I played BioShock 1, and their PlayStation Plus ran out. So now I'm over on I have PlayStation Plus on my account currently, but I don't have access to the BioShock collection, so I had to get it back. Luckily it was on sale, so I got it really cheap. I got lucky there, basically, because that game and Resident Evil 2 Remake are games I was planning to get back eventually. I just wanted to wait until they had a good sale. And luckily, I had some money on the PlayStation Store when the BioShock collection was on sale, so went ahead and got it. I do still plan to get Resident Evil 2 back later, but for now, I'm happy to have the BioShock collection back. I'm really happy about it. This part I really don't enjoy. I like the other wall running areas of this level, but this is the final part too. This part has a similar issue, or not necessarily issue, but that part is similar to the final part in Cortex Castle, with it, in my opinion, being probably the least interesting, not least interesting, but the least likable part of the level to me, but for different reasons. We're gonna end off the video here. Bye!